Whenever we travel across different cities in India, we've all noticed this one thing, that in some cities there's a lot of plastic consumption, while in other cities people are more thoughtful and we see things like small paper straws in tetra packs of things like fruity. And we wonder that, is single-use plastic banned in India? Is it banned in pan-India, or is it banned in some states and not in others? To answer this question, yes, single-use plastic is banned in India as of 2022. But what does that mean? Now, a ban does not work like a switch, that if the central government has announced that there won't be any usage of single-use plastic anymore, that from tomorrow onwards you won't be able to see it. There are different layers to how this ban can be enforced, and there are multiple questions that we have to answer in order to ensure that this policy is implemented exactly how it was intended. Now, if we take the example of two cities, we can see that in one city, the enforcement is done very strictly. In fact, they have not only followed the ban according to the policy guidelines, they have made their own rules in order to ensure that they are enforcing the policy, they are being strict about it, they are ensuring that plastic is not used, and beyond what is restricted, they restrict even more category of items that are harmful for the environment. According to the policy that bans single-use plastic in India, any plastic that is less thick than 120 microns is banned. That includes a lot of plastic cups, thermocol decoration, straws, carry bags, a lot of these items. But if you see a carry bag in India with plastic that has a thickness of more than 120 microns, then you would assume that this is illegally being used. But because it surpasses the thickness, it is not technically illegal. Now, there would be some states where the ban is there because it is being implemented across India, but they are not doing inspections as frequently as they're supposed to. Their policy enforcement is negligent, and that is causing you to see, whenever you travel to those cities, that the consumption is way more frequent. Another aspect of this is that whenever a policy is introduced, there are three levels across which the policy has to be enforced. The central government has to announce the policy and the guidelines to follow the policy. But at the same time, the state government, the state pollution boards, they have to decide how they would like to implement this policy and how strict they want to be, how do they want to design their system that ensures that this policy is followed. And the third layer is the municipality, and what are they doing to ensure that this policy is implemented. Apart from these three layers, what is very important to notice is whenever we bring a policy, a ban is not the entire policy, but the system built around it is the policy. So if we have banned single-use plastic, are we introducing any alternatives for people who are currently manufacturing and producing and selling and even using this plastic? Because there is a manufacturer who is getting the supplies to manufacture single-use plastic, which is banned. There are distributors who are selling it. There are shopkeepers who are using it because they don't have any other cheaper alternatives. And plastic is also waterproof, it is durable. And there are people, like consumers like us, who are buying it because we don't want to pay extra for the paper bag, or maybe we don't question what is being done in the market, what is happening, what our shopkeepers are doing, and we are just ignorant like that. So whenever we have a ban, we have to create a whole system to ensure that that ban is actually feasible in the environment that we live in. We all have seen videos where we've seen foreign countries selling their vegetables and fruits in banana leaves or other sustainable alternatives. A lot of us have seen these videos, but how many of us have actually questioned the shopkeepers that we buy our produce from, that how come you are not doing this, or you should do this? And how many of us who sell this produce are actually implementing this in our own stores? Another example that I can give here is that just last month, Vijayawada had reported a lot of consumption of single-use plastic. And they got to know this because they were doing inspections. It's not like the city is bad at implementing the policy. The city got to know that they're doing something wrong because they did an inspection and they're working towards solving this problem. At the same time, Sikkim during the same month reported a lot of strict enforcements of this policy to ensure that there are no mistakes happening. Across India, ever since this ban was announced, about 8.9 lakh inspections have been done, where about 2,000 tons of single use plastic has been seized and about 20 crore rupees fine has been imposed. So, whenever we bring on a policy, we do take measures to ensure that enforcement is happening, but it is a process. It is not something that can be done in one day. It is ongoing, and every time we do an inspection to ensure that single use plastic is not being utilized, we have to ensure when are we doing the inspection next, how are we ensuring that people who previously used this product are using a better alternative. These are the things that we need to take care of. What can be alternatives for using plastic bags? What can be alternatives of using plastic straws? There are multiple startups in India that are coming up with products that are helping us in finding solution to these problems. Are we supporting these startups enough? Are we accelerating their growth? Are we using paper bags? Are we doing our bit to ensure that India is plastic free? That is the question that we can all think of. Thank you.